And one of the reasons why there were so many coaches that came out of that era of Boston Celtic players was the way he dealt with his team. And I'll give you an example. We'd go to the first day of practice, and he'd say, listen, guys, I was up at Kutcher's Country Club this summer, and I was thinking about this particular play. I want to show you what it's about. And he'd line you up, and you'd dummy through this particular thing that he thought was going to be the greatest thing since 7-Up. And he would turn around and say to you, well, what do you think? So Cousy would say something, Russell would say something, I'd say something, and we massaged that idea. And so every step of the way that you went along during the course of the season, you were consulted. You were asked your opinion, what you thought, how it might work. Did you have any ideas? And it really culminated in us winning a lot of games in the last 2 minutes of a game after we were down. He'd called timeout, and we'd end up after the timeout winning the ball game. And people would say, wow, that Red Auerbach has really a genius basketball coach. And you know what he would say in the huddle was, has anybody got anything? And you were expected to tell him and your teammates what you thought would work after playing for 40-some-odd minutes, perhaps. And he would say, okay, we'll use yours first, yours second, yours third, and we'd end up winning the game. Now, this was genius as far as I was concerned, because years later, I went into the life insurance business as a manager, and I took management training, and I took this course, and I'm figuring out what I'm doing, how smart Red was, because what he did was really make us commit to everything we were as a person to what we were doing. And, I mean, all the basketball ideas, you know, the fast break was Cousy, and the defense and this and that, you know, everybody had a hand in doing, in talking about something. He had 6 basic plays and a philosophy of making the other team pay a physical and mental price to beat you. We would put them to physical torture tests with up-tempo fast break basketball, and I mean, nobody walked. You ran, and if you walked, you were out of the game. And he augmented that defensively with the press defense. So you really understood, and I used that when I was coaching, the same philosophy, only some of the tactics were just a little bit different. But, I mean, he was a genius as a manager of people. He got everybody, he picked people who were winners. They had shown some winning possibilities by playing on championship teams, and so he got the right people, and then he turned them loose, and he kept everybody. Everybody was happy. We all got along. So he was really a brilliant manager of people.
One of the things I've observed over the years, Tommy, and tell me if I'm wrong about this when it came to the Celtic teams, is that really the discipline and the cohesiveness came from within the locker room. I saw that with the 49ers when Bill Walsh was there in his championship seasons. I'm sure that's the case with the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick as well. Was that indeed the case with those Celtic championship teams?
Yeah, I will tell you this, that everybody was treated differently. I mean, he wouldn't yell at Cousy, he wouldn't yell at Russell because they were the team leaders, and so he had respect for you as a player. And when things were going bad, I'll tell you why it was so important that he picked winning people, is that when things were going bad and, you know, we'd lose a game or two and we'd start to wonder whether we were that good at it. Cousy or Russell would say, let's sit down in the locker room. So amongst ourselves, we'd sit in the locker room, and something unique happened that when I've been around business people and other basketball teams, I never saw, but with the Celtics, a guy like Russell or a guy like Cousy would stand up, and open themselves up to criticism. They would say, what do you guys think I could do better to turn this around?